Hey, welcome back to day 9, I think, of Project Me. Yep, keep it nice and quick today, so daily little reflection, and then move on to Ryan Holiday's book, do today's reading, and then after that, gratitude. So not too much to report for today. I will say, though, it has been very busy, which is why I'm doing this quite late. It's 9:18 at night, much later than I'd like to do it. Frankly, I forgot, but that's because I was working so hard. So, it's a bit of a trade-off, right? But in any case, been working on the essay. I decided to revamp the structure. I went from, you probably can't see much of it, but I've gone through maybe 3 or 4 different structures for the essay. And eventually I've adjusted on this last one that I drew up about 2.5 hours ago. So I've been revamping that, finding some more research to support my arguments. It's just a more logical structure, which actually makes all the difference when you're writing an essay. All my other academic weapons out there will know exactly what I mean. Structure matters. It really does. I mean, and to make it about, life in general, I suppose, life as well, but particularly when it comes to essays. So yeah, revamped that, did some more research. It's due next Wednesday. Hoping I can get it done by Saturday. That would be ideal. Granted, that's very optimistic because I'm very busy this week. Tomorrow we have a very famous lecture. So the university, they organise someone to come in from overseas every year to do this very prestigious lecture and all that. So that's tomorrow, and then the day after that is a huge foreign policy speech by our foreign minister. So I'm looking forward to going to that. And then day after that, got a bit of a wine and cheese actually. And then the day after that, I've actually got another wine and cheese thing to go to. One is for networking, one is just friends. So busy week ahead. Hopefully I can knock everything I need to do out of the way, particularly the essay. But it's quite hard juggling, all the other assignments I have to do every week, plus the essay that's coming up after that immediately that I'm thinking about now, plus an assignment I have due also next Wednesday. So it's just tricky, have to get it sorted as soon as possible. What else is new today? Right. I don't think I have an eating disorder, but I'm very conscious about my body and the way I look, particularly these last few months. I'm trying to lose weight. So I am very conscious of that, I suppose, and I do intermittent fasting quite a bit. I it's sort of like a halfway between doing a full intermittent fast and doing like a keto diet, for example. I try to only eat one meal, like one proper meal a day, maybe a snack here or there. That's the general rule I try to follow. And the last 2 days, yesterday and today, largely successful, I will say. It's quite hard going through the day without eating anything. Like I said yesterday in the other video, I feel like a foodaholic. I always feel like I need to eat. I want to eat when I get anxious, when I get stressed, whatever, and I'm pretty much always stressed. So I always want to be eating, so it's really quite difficult. So sheer willpower has prevented me mostly from eating whatever I have around. And so quite happy with myself for that. Hopefully tomorrow will be even better. Although there will be wine after the lecture, so I might as well make use of the free wine. I might just have to grab a snack so I'm not walking back home completely out of it. Not that I'm a bit of a heavyweight, so I don't get drunk easily, but even so, on an empty stomach, man, never underestimate alcohol despite being a heavyweight. I learnt my lesson last year in France. Funny story, actually. So I went to France last year with 2 friends of mine. We ended up going to a Christmas market, and we had the brilliant idea of getting alcohol before buying any food at the Christmas market. We hadn't eaten all day. So we drank the wine, it's mulled wine, spiced wine, delicious stuff, nice and warm. It's very cold outside. We ended up chugging it, not really, but we drink it pretty quick because of how cold we are. But we're walking around the Christmas market in Paris, and the alcohol slowly starts to kick in, right? Luckily, I was mostly fine. I mean, I was definitely, not swaying, but I was working hard to keep my balance, for sure. And like I said, I'm a heavyweight, so it didn't affect me as much. But the other two, oh man, nah, the two girls, they were just not having the time of their lives. I had to support them and take them over to the table and just sit down, and we just sat there for about 15 to 20 minutes while we waited for the alcohol effects to kind of die away. But it took some time, and we had to move halfway through as well, which was such a feat. Believe me, this lady came out and said that the area we were sitting in was reserved for customers, and we hadn't bought anything of theirs, so we had to move. And oh man, it was difficult moving them, and difficult getting up myself. But hey, we made it at the end of the day. It was a good time, but I learned my lesson: no alcohol on an empty stomach. That's for damn right. That's for damn sure. But we'll move on. So the point I'm trying to make is that pretty good day today in terms of not eating a lot. I feel quite hungry, but that just means that I haven't eaten enough, which is good if I'm trying to lose weight, right? Calorie deficit. Anyways, let's get on to the Daily Stoic by Ryan Holiday. Today is April 29th. Jeez, I can never remember the date. About a little bit too. Okay. Washing away the dust of life. This is a quote by Marcus Aurelius. Watch the stars and their courses and imagine yourself running alongside them. Think constantly on the changes of the elements into each other. For such thoughts wash away the dust of earthly life. Yeah, I think the basic principle is, if you think big picture, if you think long term, then the day-to-day struggle, if you think in years, the days don't matter, right? And so the day-to-day struggles kind of fade away. I suppose a nice sort of metaphor would be, the darkness of your day-to-day life fades away when it's confronted with the light of the years ahead. So there you go. I like that. Let's see what Ryan Holiday has to say. He says, "It is almost impossible to stare up at the stars and not feel something. As cosmologist Neil deGrasse Tyson has explained, the cosmos fills us with complicated emotions. On the one hand, we feel as infinitesimal smallness in comparison to the vast universe. On the other, an extreme connectedness to this larger whole. Obviously, given that we're in our bodies every day, it's tempting to think that the most important thing in the world, our bodies. But we counteract that bias by looking at nature, at things much bigger than us." A line from Seneca, which has since become a proverb, expresses Marcus's insight well. "Mundus ipse est ignis deorium omnium templum." The world itself is a huge temple of all the gods. Looking at the beautiful expanse of the sky is an antidote to the nagging pettiness of earthly concerns, and it is good and sobering to lose yourself in that as often as you can. I like that, actually, Focus on the long term and the short term becomes easy. It fades away in comparison. I do quite like that. In any case, let's move on to gratitude, and this might be our shortest video yet. It's 8.5 minutes. Fantastic. The shorter the better. I made that promise at the beginning to be as direct and eloquent as possible. And it's a massive improvement over those 15-minute videos that I hate posting, because it just makes it longer for me to watch. So, Ben, you'll thank me tomorrow because of how short this is. Anyways, I'm delaying it. 3 things I'm grateful for. First up, poetry. Yes, no, very grateful to poetry. Every time I feel anything, it's always nice to be able to fall back on something, to be able to say, wow, someone else has felt exactly what I feel and is able to express it. That tells me that there is light at the other end of the tunnel, because I feel like so often when we feel something and we can't express it, we feel suffocated. It feels like we're not going anywhere. But then when we look at poetry and we see that someone is able to express it, and we both feel admiration and we feel a little bit in awe. Why can't I do that? And I think that's a very dangerous path to go on, but we won't go down that road. I think if we focus on, wow, they managed to find a way to express it, so can I. Maybe it's not through poetry itself, maybe it's through art, maybe it's through dance, I don't know. Whatever it is that you might find, I think that's really, really important. So to me, that's poetry. I'm a very literal person. I love writing. And to see someone else write exactly what I feel, that's such a comfort to me. So actually after this, I've bought myself a little booklet. Well, I have a little one, but this is a bigger one because I wanted to write my favourite poems in here. And poems, not all of them are quite short. Some of them are quite long, so I thought I'd better get a bigger book for this. So I'm going to do that and then I'll go to bed. Just write down some of my favourite. I've got a huge book, 1,000 quotable poems. I've got some poems from Keats, some from Tennyson. Who am I forgetting? Oh, Byron, of course. Shakespeare's sonnets. I've got a heaps. Second thing I'm grateful for is university. The challenge, the rigour that comes with academia. I for one would not be who I am today without the challenge. And as much as I hate it, I love it as well. Because if I weren't doing anything, I would drive myself up the wall and go insane. I spend too much time in my head, and this challenge gives me a way to come out of my head, come out of my prison, and sort of see life, albeit mostly through my computer screen because I'm always doing readings for my classes, which is no fun. But still, the challenge is there, keeps me moving forward, let's say. So thankful for that, very grateful. Even if it costs me thousands of dollars a year, jeez. Thirdly, I am grateful for... I keep looking out the window because it's just fun. Sorry. Thirdly, I am grateful for... my flatmate's boyfriend. He came home after she let him in and we were just chatting about... He's a gym rat. We were just chatting about things and I told him I bought a jump rope so I could work out in the mornings easier. I wouldn't always have to go out running. And he very kindly offered me the use of his bike, which is currently in our garage because he hasn't been using it. He was just going to sell it, but he said I could use it, and very grateful to him for that. I'm going to send him a message tomorrow morning and thank him again and just say, hey, please sell it whenever you want. Please don't feel burdened by the fact that you've lent it to me. It's yours by rights, and I'm just a licensee, if you will, using it up while I still have it. So very grateful. That was very kind of him to offer that. So I'm looking forward to using it one of these days when I'm not jump roping or running or hitting the gym, which I need to get a membership for. Something I've been meaning to do for quite a while now. Just good to build up muscle, I think. And I've heard it's great for stress, which is something I could definitely use to my advantage, the gym. But in any case, that sums up our 3 things of gratitude today. And yeah, that's it. So I'll see you tomorrow. Probably be another late video, I imagine, Ben, but we'll get through it. Yeah, alright. Take care. Cheers.